The wind was cold that evening in Lincoln Park, the kind that carries the whispers of memories you try to forget. Nathan had only agreed to this blind date because his sister insisted he needed to start living again. He sat on a bench near the fountain, anxiously tapping his foot, adjusting his jacket, glancing at his phone. He wasn't nervous because of the date itself. He was nervous because he wasn't sure he was ready to feel anything again. His life had been a series of quiet routines ever since the accident last winter, when a stranger pulled him and his daughter, Chloe, from their overturned car in a snowstorm and disappeared before he could even say thank you. That night replayed in his mind often, especially when Chloe asked questions he had no answers for. He never saw the woman again. She was just gone, like a guardian angel who didn't belong to the real world. If you believe kindness, fate, and second chances can change lives, make sure to like this video, share it, and subscribe to the channel. Let's spread stories that remind us how powerful compassion truly is. The date wasn't going well. The restaurant was loud, the conversation awkward, and Nathan felt himself drifting into distant thoughts. The woman he was meeting, Julia, was kind but distant, clearly sensing his emotional wall. He apologized after dinner and gently suggested they call it a night. Julia nodded politely, understanding but disappointed. Outside, the sky faded into a warm early spring dusk, and Nathan walked toward the parking lot where his mother had dropped off Chloe after school. Chloe ran into his arms, bubbling with excitement about ice cream, swings, and pigeons they absolutely had to chase. They walked hand in hand through the park, and Nathan tried to forget how empty he felt. As they crossed a path near a row of benches, Chloe suddenly stopped. Her eyes widened. She pointed ahead, her little voice trembling with certainty. "Daddy, that's her. That's the lady who saved us." Nathan followed her gaze and saw a woman standing by herself near the edge of the park, her hair dancing with the wind, wearing a cream sweater and jeans. She stared across the lawn as though searching for a piece of her past. Nathan's breath froze. He didn't know for sure. It had been dark that night, snow swirling, adrenaline blurring everything. But something inside him recognized her, the stillness in her eyes, the calmness in her posture. He felt it, like a memory tugging from deep inside. Before Nathan could speak, Chloe ran ahead, stopping only a few steps from the woman. The woman turned, confusion melting into a soft, surprised smile. Nathan approached slowly, unsure whether to believe what his heart already knew. The woman introduced herself as Harper, her voice gentle, polite, unaware of the storm she had just triggered in Nathan's chest. She didn't seem to recognize them. Nathan hesitated, then told her about the snowstorm, the crash, the stranger who pulled them from the shattered windshield and waited with them until paramedics arrived. Harper's expression changed. She blinked rapidly, taken aback, as though he had reached into a part of her she had tried to bury. Harper finally looked down and admitted that she had been driving home from a night shift at the hospital when she spotted their crashed car. She never expected to see them again. She didn't even know they had survived. In the days that followed, she left town to care for her sick sister in Michigan, and life moved on. She said she always wondered about that little girl she carried through the snow, wrapped in her jacket. Nathan's voice trembled with gratitude as he thanked her, but words felt too small. He had imagined this moment 1,000 times, how he'd express his gratitude, how he'd repay her. But standing here now, all he felt was overwhelming relief and emotion he couldn't explain. Chloe hugged her tightly, as though recognizing a long-lost part of her story. The conversation flowed effortlessly. Harper wasn't just kind, she had depth, warmth, and a quiet resilience that made Nathan feel safe in a way he hadn't felt in a long time. They walked together through the park, talking about life, loss, faith, and healing. Nathan found himself smiling, genuinely, freely, for the first time in months. The world no longer felt as heavy. As the sun dipped behind distant buildings, Nathan realized he didn't want the moment to end. Not because he felt indebted, but because meeting Harper again felt like destiny catching up. He asked if they could stay in touch. Harper hesitated, not out of reluctance, but caution. She had built walls of her own, but seeing Chloe cling to her arm, seeing Nathan look at her, not with admiration, but understanding, she finally nodded. Later that night, as Nathan watched Chloe sleep, wrapped in blankets and dreaming peacefully, he whispered a quiet prayer of gratitude for survival, for unexpected miracles, for second chances that arrive when you stop searching and start living again. Days passed, and what began as chance encounters in the park slowly turned into shared coffee, long conversations, laughter-filled afternoons, and cautious hope. Nathan discovered that healing doesn't come all at once. Sometimes it arrives as a familiar face in a place you least expect. Harper wasn't just the woman who saved their lives. She was someone who reminded them how to live again. If this story touched your heart, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Your support helps spread more stories about hope, kindness, and healing. Before we end, comment below, "Some strangers are sent by God," and let someone else feel the same warmth you felt just now. Thank you for watching.